So, in your virtual world, how do you really know who you're talking to? I mean, how do you make absolutely sure that the chats between your most critical systems are private and totally secure? Well, it all boils down to this idea called digital trust. And today, we're going to break down exactly how VMware builds this trust right from the ground up.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with the basics, why we even need to care about digital trust. Then we'll check out VMware's built-in solution, the VMCA. After that, we'll level up to the big league enterprise option, the MCA. And to wrap it all up, we'll see how you can manage this whole thing at scale without pulling your hair out.
All right, first things first. Let's really nail down the core problem that digital certificates are built to solve. This is super important in any network, but especially in one as complex as a modern data center.
I mean, this is the fundamental question, right? Think about it for a second. When your vCenter server needs to talk to an ESXi host, how can it be 100% sure it's the real deal? How does it know it's not some imposter trying to snoop on the conversation or, cause some real damage?
And the answer is a digital certificate. Now, this isn't just some random file. It's way more like a verifiable cryptographic ID card for your machine. It does two absolutely critical things. First, it proves identity, kind of like a bouncer checking your ID at the door. And second, it creates a secure encrypted tunnel for all communication, so nobody can eavesdrop.
And this really gets to the heart of why these certificates are so crucial. It's not just about scrambling data with encryption. It's about stopping those really nasty man-in-the-middle attacks, where a hacker basically sits between two of your systems, listening to everything, and maybe even changing the data as it flies by. This digital ID check is what keeps everything safe, from managing your hosts to just logging into vCenter.
So how does VMware actually deal with this challenge right out of the box? Well, turns out they've got a pretty simple automated solution to get you up and running securely from day one.
So let me introduce you to the VMware Certificate Authority, or VMCA for short. This thing is basically your built-in security manager. The moment you install vCenter, the VMCA is right there, ready to go, just waiting to start issuing and managing certificates for your whole environment.
Now here's the real magic of VMCA. It just handles the basics for you. You add a new ESXi host to vCenter, and boom, VMCA automatically swaps out its default certificate with a trusted one. Just like that, you've got a secure ecosystem. It makes that initial security setup so much simpler. And that's really the key thing to remember about VMCA. It's all about giving you a solid security baseline with absolutely zero fuss. It just works. It makes sure all your internal vSphere communications are secure from the get-go without you needing to be some kind of certificate guru.
But what happens when good enough isn't, well, good enough? For bigger companies, security has to reach way beyond just the VMware world. So let's see how VMware plugs into that wider corporate security landscape.
This is exactly where you might start to see the limits of VMCA. See, its certificates are totally trusted inside your vSphere bubble. But what about the rest of your company's network? Your security scanners, your management tools, your auditors, none of them are going to recognize the VMCA. To them, it's a stranger.
And that's where an enterprise solution like a Microsoft Certificate Authority, or MCA, steps in. This is part of your company's bigger security machine, often called a public key infrastructure, or PKI. Just think of it as the central headquarters for all digital IDs in your company. By connecting VMware to your MCA, you can start issuing certificates that are trusted by every single system in your organization.
Integrating with an MCA is a huge strategic move, and honestly, it's often a requirement for big compliance standards like PCI or HIPAA. All of a sudden, your vSphere components are trusted members of the corporate family. Plus, you're getting more value out of the security systems your company is already invested in, creating one big, consistent chain of trust.
So this table pretty much sums it up. It really boils down to this core choice for administrators. On one side, you've got VMCA. It's simple, it's automatic, and it's self-contained within vSphere. On the other side, you've got MCA. It's integrated, it's enterprise-wide, and it's recognized by your entire organization. It's really the difference between local security and full-blown corporate trust.
Okay, so let's say you've made the choice. You're going with an enterprise CA for maximum security. Awesome. But now, you've got a brand new problem. How in the world do you actually deploy these certificates across hundreds, maybe even thousands of different components?
And look, this is not a small question. Trying to manually create certificate requests, get them signed, and then install them on every single vCenter, NSX Manager, and ARIA appliance would be an absolute nightmare. It's slow, it's so easy to make a mistake, and it just doesn't scale. A single typo could bring a system down, and the sheer amount of time it takes means security updates could get dangerously pushed back.
As you might have guessed, the answer, like with so many modern IT challenges, is automation. And VMware has a really powerful tool designed specifically for this job. It's called the Certificate Generation Utility for VMware Validated Solutions, or CertGen VVS for short.
At its core, CertGen VVS is a very specialized PowerShell script. Its one and only purpose in life is to take this incredibly complex, manual, and painful process of replacing certificates and turn it into a simple, automated, and repeatable task. This script follows this really clear logical flow. First, it goes out and automatically generates all the certificate signing requests, the CSRs, that you need for your VMware stuff. Then it submits all of those requests to your enterprise CA. And finally, once those shiny new trusted certificates are issued, it deploys them to all the right systems, gets everything installed and up and running.
And this really brings us to the ultimate goal here. When you combine an enterprise CA with powerful automation like this, you create a software-defined data center where every last component has a verifiable, trusted identity that's recognized across your entire organization. That means consistent, robust security everywhere.
So you've done it. You've secured your environment with enterprise-grade, automated certificates. The foundation is rock solid. But the real question I want to leave you with is this. As your infrastructure keeps growing and changing, is your process for managing trust agile enough to keep up? Now that's something to think about.